What's up, guys? First workout for our triple threat competition is Ferris, Cameron, Sloane. It is a 12-minute AMRAP where we're gonna go through 1-minute stations of either snatches or deadlifts, burpees to a plate, and then box jumps or step-ups, okay? The goal here is to accumulate as many reps as possible in each one. Each person will have their own judge. So from a team from another heat will judge each person. So like person one judges person one. So you're just gonna have somebody that follows you through the whole thing. And all they're doing is just keeping track of the number of reps that you do in each one. They're not worried about totaling up anything. So don't ask them like, so how many total do I have? Like you're just getting a total number of reps, and at the end, they'll add it all up for you. Now, the snatches and deadlifts. You could either do snatches or you could do deadlifts. Snatches are worth 5 points or 5 reps, and deadlifts are worth 1 rep. So if you do 5 snatches, you get 25 reps for it. If you do 25 deadlifts, you get 25 reps for it, right? So whichever thing you want to do, it's up to you. But once you've designated the movement that you're doing, you stick with that the entire workout, okay? So when we're going through these, your judge will be watching. We'll have a head judge that'll come around and correct any standard faults, but we're gonna do our best, everybody, including the judges counting, to make sure that people are holding their standard to completion, okay? When we're moving a light deadlift, you tend to see a little bit of kind of shortening up of the movement. The standard on the deadlift is we're taking the bar from the ground to a fully locked out hip and shoulder, right? So my knee is in line with my hip is in line with my shoulders, and everything's upright. The thing that we tend to see after it touches the ground, you'll see people with their shoulders out in front, right? We have to finish with the shoulders behind. I'll have Matthew demo a few. You could touch and go these deadlifts, right? He's standing all the way up. They touch the ground and go right to the top, okay? Now, one thing that we're not gonna do, that's not gonna be allowed for deadlifts, is singles on deadlifts. You cannot do singles on deadlifts. Do like 3 singles, Matthew? Now, singles on deadlifts are not allowed in this workout. You can do doubles, right, but you cannot do singles. So you have to do at least 2 in a row every single time. Now, on the snatches, we're taking the bar from the ground to overhead in one complete motion. We're taking it from the ground to overhead in one complete motion. So the bar has to clear your head before you press out on anything. Now, once it gets overhead, your knees must be locked out and in line with your hips and shoulders and everything over the center of the body, okay? Matthew, can you demo? Matthew, do 2 touch and go. Good. Now, with the snatches, singles are allowed with the snatches. Do 2 snatches, singles. Thank you. So snatches are allowed, or singles are allowed with the snatches. The goal there is just to get as many as you can of whatever it is that you're doing. There's really no gray area there. Just make sure you stay moving and that your judge is counting. If you're doing snatches, they're not gonna be able to do that math that fast. They'll just say you got 5 snatches or whatever that is, okay? You have 50 seconds to work. At the 50-second mark, your judge is gonna tell you stop, and you're gonna get a rotation onto whatever the next movement is that you're doing, okay? We'll have the heat set up across this way, and there will be a clock over there in the corner by where the computer usually is, and your judge will be looking that way the whole time, so that way they know, okay? Okay, so the second movement is burpees to a plate. This is the same standard across everybody's division, heat, whatever, male, female. There's nothing changes here. All the reps count the same. Chest and thighs have to hit the ground behind the plate. So there needs to be a space between the back of the plate and the person's head, whoever's doing burpees. Chest and thighs touch the ground. From there, you stand up, hop on the plate, or step on the plate, whatever you want to do. Step off, hop off the plate. Do one where you walk it up. You don't have to jump anywhere. You could simply walk it up on the plate, and come down. You don't have to lock it out either. Over-exaggerate, like hopping on in like a really crouched position. Yeah, so like do a burpee, and then like hop up, and then hop right back to your burpee. That's totally legal right there, okay? You can do that as long as you finish on top of the plate. Now with that one, if you do your burpee, as long as your chest and thighs have hit the ground before the 50-second mark, you can finish that burpee, right? But if you start to descend at the 50-second mark, if you start to go down to the ground at the 50-second mark, that rep won't count. and you can't get credit for that rep. But as long as your chest and thighs are on the ground at 50 seconds, you can stand up, tap, and then move on to your next movement, which will be the box jumps. All right, the third movement is either box jumps or box step-ups, okay? Guys will use a 24-inch box, ladies will use a 20-inch box. Now, we will use the same box for both people, okay? So it's not like you'll have two boxes set up next to each other. There will be one box that each partner will use, okay? So if Matthew comes up and he's got a 20-inch box here, he just has to simply flip it up, and now he's ready to do whatever it is that he's doing, okay? Now, on the step-ups, pretty simple here. One foot steps on the box, the other one stands all the way up, and you get a full lockout at the top, shoulders in line with their hips and knees, okay? Do one where you don't stand up all the way, kind of like lock your legs out, but yeah. This does not count. He has to finish at the top with the shoulders back, okay? Anything that looks close to not being good, we will count as a no rep, okay? So just over-exaggerate the movement. Make sure that we see the hips coming all the way forward. Now, the box jumps are worth 3 reps, and the step-ups are worth 1 rep, right? Do 3 step-ups as fast as you can. Make them good standard. Good. Those are all good reps, okay? On that one, the finish of the movement is on top of the box. So as long as you've put your foot on top of the box at the 50-second mark, you can finish that rep. But the foot needs to be on top of the box at 50 seconds to finish it, okay? Now, box jumps, both feet start on the ground. You jump up on the box, finishing standing tall in the same position. Good. Step down or jump down, that's up to you. Go one more. Notice that he's locking everything out, shoulders in line with the hips. Do one like show the step-up thing where your shoulders are forward. All the way up. There you go, step down. That would be a no rep because his shoulders are forward. Do one where you don't lock your knees out. Yep, he has to push those knees all the way to lock out. Do one where you're kind of jumping off before you finish, like you kind of spring off. Yep, no rep. That would also be a no rep, okay? The main thing is you have to show control at the top before you come down, right? It's up to you how you do that. It's up to you if you want to rebound, if you want to step down, but both feet have to come off the ground, both feet have to jump up. Do one where you kind of like skip up on there. No rep, even if he locks out the top, okay? He has to clearly jump off both feet, land on both feet, lock it out the top. Thank you, Matthew. Okay. Obviously, too, your hands cannot touch the box at any point, going up or going down. Right. So in closing on this one, it's a 12-minute AMRAP. Each partner will start on one of these different movements. There's no designation of where somebody has to start. Just you're going to start on wherever, and you're going to go through the same rotation. It'll go snatch and deadlift to burpees, burpees to box jumps to back to snatches or deadlifts. Okay. If you start on the burpees, you're going to box jumps and snatches. Okay. Everybody will rotate through it for 12 minutes. So everybody's going to do 4 rounds of it. You'll have one judge that follows you around. They're keeping score. Judges are maintaining the standard to the best of their own knowledge, but we have a head judge that will be walking around to ensure that they are also holding the standards. We have plenty of time between heats to make sure that judges can get over there and get you going. We'll have little scorecards. They'll keep track of it. Everything will be good. At the end of that heat, at the end of your heat, my suggestion to you is to take a picture of your scorecard. Okay, because your judge is going to be required to adding up your scores, and if for some reason they miscount or whatever, then you have a backup to show and you can do the math on your own. Cool? Any questions, make sure you comment below and we can answer them for you.